description of Honorable Mwanga on that telephone that he received, utilized come and lead us in prayer for us to accommodate people, no matter the religion. Seka, yango twali wa. Sabile no Islam, kwa baba mazi preachment.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ba'd. Allahumma sallit aduwana aqladun min khilafika. Ay Allah wajtiwa kusabanga newa mesejoli manyaga bishtiwa. Abalabe baffe era ab'eggwanga lino abasindikire program az'okuwoozerera. Tusaba omupulezidenti waffe omutereko omukono gw'ekitiibwa atuuke mu kukulembedde eby'okwagala oba okumulibwa nga Uganda nga mulamu bulungi era omuwe omukono gw'ekisa abeere nga tukulembera bulungi alulibwa nga Uganda. Nsaba buli muntu ayazze wano omuteeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa ogw'ekisa n'abasigaddeyo nga bali emabega w'ekisinde kino bateekeko omukono ogw'ekitiibwa. Byonna mbisaba Allah nga mutamunye ekitiibwa Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Allahumma Amin.
So you can see, go on your man.
Amanya, the Shari Sarabuka Kalisomojo, Johnny Amin Luno District.
From Luno District. Have you ever dreamt of having handshake with the president? You have never dreamed. Do you have it as a dream? Alhamdulillah. Go and have the handshake. Go on, Amaya. Anaitaba tujja ate oline saba tujja nomunamanya mukikuba ekifaananyi ekyo. Yeah, for us here at the National Unity Platform, we reaffirm all faith. Anglican, Christian, born again, Muslim, apart from the atheists, we are yet to agree because many of us have attachment to particular religion. So it is not right to discriminate or describe characteristically like they did people because of their faith. That is very wrong. And the NUP will deliver, of course, better than you've heard them speak. Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome. Of course, good afternoon. We have started a little bit late because of force majeure. It was not our own making. But Shamim here, Malende, knows that acts of God, you cannot stop it. So we are here and we will use the shortest time possible. We reach out to the media to please bear with us, that will compensate with the terrific speed that shall carry out this. Mr. President, allow me to recognize that in this press conference you have persons, you have councillors. Councillors LC3, you stand up. The other time they said it was
power, people power, NUP, everywhere, NUP.
You're most welcome. Those at the division level, you stand up for recognition. That's LC3. Those at the Lord Councillors, stand up for recognition. Lord Councillors. Of course, they are all represented by the Speaker of the Lord Council. So stand up for recognition. Zahara Lilka, our able Speaker. We do have Youth Council, Nanunji Alice from Masaka. It is also city, we also Lord Council. We take special recognition of leaders from Bugisu, my brother Honorable Masawa, you're most welcome. NEC members, you're most welcome. I take recognition of our speaker, Wachiso district, Nadia. One of our very great people in delivering at the local government. It has not easy managing what is so. You've done us proud. Thank you, Nadia. Mr. President, you have Honorable Muyanja from Mukono is with us today. Mr. President, the lobe is not with us, but the ears are here. Mosh from Masaka, an office of you're most welcome. Of course, that caller gives you all the advantages of being introduced. Bishop, you're most welcome. Stewart from Teri, you're most welcome. Come and have a handshake with the president. I should exercise my powers because he comes from Teri. You see, Teri is a very interesting area. They have Lake Victoria, and I feel like I'm living in Teri because I come from Kenya. Stewart, Mr. President, that young man comes from Teri. He's a very good young man down there and doing a great job. I want to know Basima, the foot soldiers, you're most welcome. Members of the National Unity, owners and members of the National Unity Platform, you are most welcome. Councillor, you did not stand up. You expanded, I did see you. She's also our councillor from Matching the Savakamu. My sister Nakato, you're most welcome. And all other members, Katongole Julius, Kantakalas Katongole Julius, you're most welcome. And all other members, you're all most welcome. Arish Kanu, my brother, and Obi, classmate, you're most welcome. And all of you that I have not introduced, I will do it another time. Mr. President, sir, amid distance, we have members of Parliament. Guys, and okay? We have the Honorable Seungu Gozaga from Kalungu. We have Honorable Christine Kaya, my very good friend from Chiboga. We have Honorable Mwanga Zivumbi, the chairman of the Uganda Caucus. Sentebe wa Uganda Caucus. And also the head of the park committee, Nesu Aktiwa. He has not served in that capacity. Members of the National Executive Committee, Farida Navatanzi, you're most welcome. Our head of the Electoral Management Committee, the Election Management Committee, Master Walkamba, all the way from Bugwedi, you're most welcome. And Mutu Wawatu, Chairman Nyanzi, you're most welcome. Richard, yeah, today is blessed like people from a particular country. I will not say they will say it's on their money, but it is in Europe. And our Secretary General, you're most welcome. Mr. President, all those people are here to witness what will be said. And of course, myself, Mr. President, you are deputy spokesperson. I am so sorry. Shamim Marende, MP Kampala, you're most welcome. Man MP Kampala, you're most welcome. Shamim Marende Jabundi Amwamasu. And my sister from Kisoro, you're most welcome. You're very, very smart. That is NUP. That is not anywhere else. Mr. President, allow me at this juncture invite Honorable Masi Walkamba, our chairperson of the Election Management Committee, to come and speak to us. Madam Masi, welcome.
Thank you. People power. People power.
How is the sound?
I, Masi Walkamba, chairperson of the Election Management Committee of the National Unity Platform. I'm here to declare our comrade, who is going to be our official candidate for Member of Parliament in the upcoming by-election. She is Sultan Salim. Can you please stand up for information? This lady is our official candidate who is going to be our candidate in the upcoming by-election in Israel district. Please let's go there in big numbers to support her because the win is on our side. Nsiramu Luganda, ono candidate waffe, bwe twataddeko omukono wakwe twalonze wakwe twayisiza mu kasengejja agenda okubeera oba tukwatidde ebendera yaffe mu kawulu ke tugendamu.
Kasifa, sound yali atya Kasifa? I want you to comment. Singa sound listed. Is the sound okay?
So tugendeyo ku bungi tumusupporting tulogeeta wi bawonaona twagala twagenda wi.
Subscribe ngate mu liking the video, mjisharing
we should have been there to support you.
Mr. President, you will officially come and unveil your next member of parliament for Kisoro, woman MP Kisoro district. The Secretary General will come with you and the chairperson of the Electoral Management Committee. I would ask the SG to give guidance.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. Mr. President, behold our candidate, your candidate, Comrade Sultana, commonly known as Tana, who is going to be our flag bearer for Woman Member of Parliament, Kisoro District. We shall give her an opportunity to say something right now, but most importantly, it was good for us to unveil her to you. Unfortunately, they have given us a very, very short time for campaigns, only 12 days. You can imagine how unfair the system is. Only 12 days for campaigns in a district which has 24 sub-counties. And you can imagine for the NRM, they've been there already. They started all the way campaigning, doing their primaries and all that. But we are glad we have our candidate, and we shall all be there. So, after taking that picture with the president, I will ask her to say something. Yeah, maybe she can even come and say something.
Mr. President, Secretary General, our MPs present, and the NUP faculty, I greet you all. The people of Kisoro have come here as your sister, your daughter, the people from Kumbira, our Kumbira, the Bakimbili communities. I stand before you with a lot of humility and pride to be called your daughter. Kisoro district for the longest time, it's been 40 years, over 40 years, Kisoro has given full support to NRM. Where even they have a saying of Ijana ku Ijana. Ijana ku Ijana means 100% NRM. But we can see the people of Kisoro, the number of pledges that this government has given us. We can see, you all know, that Kisoro is a tourism hub, where in Mountain Mugahinga, we have the largest number of gorillas in the whole world. So, Kisoro speaks for itself, even without an introduction. But if you go, in 2006, they promised us tourism roads. But as we speak, the tourism roads are in a very bad condition. Thank you very much. If you look at our roads, this is not only going to benefit the tourism industry, but also the traders, because we are known as farmers. When it rains in these tourism roads, you really wonder if this is a tourism hub that we should be. Because if you have visited Kisoro, you can see the beauty of Kisoro district. But we were promised, and up to now, we are still in hope. For how long will we wait? People of Kisoro, Ijana ku Ijana. Let us change the narrative. Let us change the statement of Ijana ku Ijana. And we know that that is not what happened, because things are changing. We saw what they did in the 2021 elections. We saw how they arrested us. You saw how they beat our agents on polling stations, where agents at 1 p.m. were chased and polling stations were closed at 1 p.m. because ballots were already ticked. So we saw all that, and we know people are seeing and people are changing. I know Kisoro right now as we speak, after the NRM primary that just concluded, you saw the impunity, you saw the bribery. Please, Kisoro people, I urge you to change. This is the time, and you have to change now. And are a lot of things that we have been promised. The John Carley Institute of Science and Technology. As we speak, they laid a stone in 2017, but you can no longer even trace where that stone is. People are moving from Kisoro to go to other districts for education, when we should have such education in Kisoro so that our leaders, we can have better leaders of tomorrow. So I stand here to empower the youth, the girl child, to ensure that we stay in school, and we are going to put up facilities that are going to help us in doing this. I'm going to be an on-ground leader. An on-ground leader, I mean, where I have to engage with you in our webinars. I sit with you and we discuss our issues in a personal level. An ongoing leader is what I'm going to be. And I'm going to be your vocal person, a person who is going to speak for you, not to go and fill the seats in parliament, but to go and actually advocate for our rights as Kisoro district as we deserve. Thank you very much. Abafumbira kazi, abafumbira, abakimbiri, n'abakimbiri kazi, nchimbere yanyu ndikubasaba ngo duhindure kuko iki nicyo gihe. Buri munsi tuvuga yuko ari ijana ku ijana, kubera iki tudahinduraho ijana ku ijana, kubera iki nta district yigera ivuga ngo ijana ku ijana, ni Kisoro gusa yonze. Ariko bunzi yuko twenda guhinduraho, dusindike statement. Iyi election igiye kutuyamba, dusindike statement iri kwerekana yuko tuhinduyeho. Nyabona muzi yuko twifuza umuntu wo kutuvugira nka Kisoro, kuko ibyo batubeshe ni byinshi. University yo batubeshe Institute John Carley in memory of the late John Carley. Up to now we don't nta institute dufite. Abana bacu bari kujya mu district kwiga, kandi ufite kuba ibyo byose biri mu district yacu. Amantuza tourism roads tazo turukubona buri gihe. Nyabona duhindureho mu mpaka rumpa mukankwa ya Sultana Salim uwo muzi hatana, duhindureho maze mu mpaka rumpa cyane bakumbuye.
Thank you. Ubusemeza. People power. Our power. Hey.
Yes, may I now invite
our comrade from Western Uganda. People power, our power. So, even Sharon is from Kisoro. All right. Comrade Tana, come in front, please. And the president is going to officially hand over this our symbol to you. Please, in front here. The president is going to officially hand over to you our symbol, which is the umbrella, for you to go and hold it with a lot of pride in Kisoro. People power, our power. Kunga Kisoro kunga. Kunga Western Uganda kunga. Yeah. Thank you very much. So there we go with our official candidate in the Kisoro.
Our power. Kunga Chisoro Kunga. Kunga Chisoro Kunga. Viva Kunga, viva. Chisoro, we are coming. Chisoro, we are coming. How I wish the president and the secretariat would give me those 2 weeks in Chisoro. And I see what is in Chisoro. But Chisoro, we are coming. Thank you very much. We surely look forward to doing whatever we can. There's a lot of desire to prove that we are not everywhere, but let them mark us with Chisoro, because we will be there. And let them give us the chance to show who we are and the might that we are, because we are truly a mighty party in Chisoro. That I know, we have the numbers. And we will beat them. We will beat them at that. Mr. President, without wasting any more time, allow us to give this opportunity to Parliament. There is a serious bill and debate concerning coffee, and a lot of people have been hearing a lot of what we think that we should have the opportunity being in charge of the fight. And I wish to take this opportunity, Mr. President, to report to you and ask all of us here to put up, to give a thunderous hand clap to our parliamentary team. They have defined us right, that when we mean something, we go for it. And when we stand together, we can beat them no matter the odds. We want to thank the able leadership of Honorable Joel Senyonyi, the able leadership of Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi at the center stage of making sure that we fight for the voices that are voiceless. They put up a very good struggle. You heard what happened there, and we are very grateful for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, allow me to invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. But before I invite Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, selector is very far. Let me have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi to come and tell us something. But then those you have Emwanyi, but it is far. Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi, sir.
Your Excellency, the President, the Secretary General, the National Organizing Secretary, honorable colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I've been given this opportunity. Once again, let me first explain who I am. I'm a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. And people should understand how I became a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. I'm deployed by the National Unity Platform to be chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus. It's because of our numbers in Parliament, in the caucus, that I managed to be elected a chairperson. Therefore, I give first accountability to my president and to the party. That's why I'm going to explain how far this is taken. Now, coffee. Why coffee? Coffee today is grown by two 12.5 million Ugandans. They are in the coffee sector. Coffee today, this financial year alone, and Uganda net earnings 1.4 billion US dollars. 1.4 billion translated in shillings is nearly 5 trillion Uganda shillings. That's so remarkable. And why today? So when we are speaking about coffee, we are not speaking about any other crop. That is not grown in Uganda at all. That is Arabic coffee. It is grown in part of Western Uganda and in Bugisu region. But even today, coffee has transited the ordinary boundaries. It's no longer grown in Bugisu, in Uganda, in parts of Rwenzori. No. Acholi, Busoga, West Nile, and all other regions. Actually, today, the most upcoming region in growing coffee is Western Uganda. Therefore, when we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking about Uganda in totality. So what's a crisis in Parliament? In Parliament, we are now dealing with a very big issue. Government come up, by the way, government of Uganda did not come up with the policy of rationalization. My 10 years as the Shadow Minister for Finance, we made a case that government was too big, duplicating so many roles, being extravagant, and in our manifesto, we advocated for a lean, efficient government bureaucracy. So it's actually a national unity platform that has delivered the agenda for cleaning up the extravagance in government. And we should clap for ourselves. Therefore, there is nothing like government was with, because it is President Yoweri himself, no, it is General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni who abolished all these other things, Coffee Marketing Board, whatever. Therefore, General Museveni should not lay a claim that he is a grandfather of rationalization. It is actually as you made the case. Now, from our standpoint, we are not total against rationalization of agencies. And in Parliament, right, Honorable President, Your Excellency, we have supported almost 90% of agencies that have been rationalized. And led by the able leadership of our leader of opposition, Honorable John Osonyemi, we've been able to support various bills. But for every rule, there is an exception. Even the government agencies, even the agencies to be privatized, to be rationalized by government, it's not all of them. Some have remained. The National Oil Company, the National Oil Authority, including Kampala State Council Authority. If they want to talk about duplication, just go to Kampala State Council. They have a minister and a deputy minister. They have an executive director. They have a road mayor. They have a speaker, a very powerful speaker. So if they wanted to crowd out duplication, they should have started with the KCCA and taken away all the ministers and blah, blah, and go back to the mayor being the head of that institution. But that's not to be the case, and we're not making that case. And the National Uganda Revenue Authority. By the way, Uganda Revenue Authority is also an agency that was created of late. It is also under the Ministry of Finance. Therefore, rationalization is not omnibus. So there are some agencies that needs to be spared. Now, why do we make a case for coffee? We grow coffee, export coffee, but we are not hugely a coffee consuming country. Ethiopia grows more coffee than us, but Ethiopia consumes a lot of coffee internally. Nearly 90% and almost 95% of our coffee is for export. The countries where we export coffee have become very keen because of the new non-communicable diseases on what their citizens consume. So when you export to a country accredits you and satisfies you that the quality of the product you have exported, and for them they have imported, they are to a standard which will not cause health issues to their citizens. Therefore, for coffee, they accredited the Uganda Coffee Development Authority to have the power, to have the stamp, it's the only authority that stamps every bag of coffee that gets exported out of this country. And when that accreditation is withdrawn, you can no longer export your product to some particular country. Therefore, the struggle one is that if you dissolve, because Section 4 of the bill talks about dissolving UCDA. But let me tell the country, the talk of 3 years being marketed is not anywhere in the bill. The bill does not in any way talk about 4 years. They are talking about a dissolution of coffee, UCDA, instantly. When you dissolve, instantly, you lose the accreditation. When you lose the accreditation, you can no longer export coffee. And therefore, this move by government, I don't know in which faith, is to ensure that the new wealth that has come up with adding up to 5 trillion is to really collapse the coffee. So we are telling the president, one, best practices for coffee. We're not the only coffee growing country. Ethiopia does, Kenya does, Brazil does, Honduras does, Vietnam does, Cambodia does, and a host of other countries. Now, the global market in its unique way for coffee is that coffee, not in any country, is being done through a main ministry. It is through an agency model. An agency model is like you have a special purpose vehicle for marketing coffee and growing coffee. And the thing about coffee export is about the quality of your coffee. However, the quality of coffee is not determined at export level. It is determined right from the nursery bed to how you organize your plantations, to how you harvest your coffee, how you dry it, how you roast it, and how you pack it, and how you export it. So along that value chain, you need a 24-hour monitoring capability by a specific agency dedicated to ensure that at no stage, at every stage, you have to get it right. Therefore, when you crowd out coffee and dissolve the UCDA and put coffee in the Ministry of Agriculture, which has all agricultural products, which has tea, tobacco, ware, vanilla, blah, blah, you may lose that eagle eye for detail. And therefore, you may affect the quality of our coffee. Now, for those countries, it is the question of a random sample. When you export containers of coffee, they just pick a container and say, we are going to check this one. Yes, once they check one, and it's not up to standard, they reject the whole consignment. Not the whole consignment, they review your accreditation. Therefore, if you want to rationalize coffee and rationalize UCDA, you are removing an agency that has built expertise, capability, and knowledge, and the marketing capacity to market our coffee. And consequently, you will do so. We are not the first country to try to do what the government is trying to do. Ethiopia tried. Kenya, our neighbors, tried. They abolished their coffee board and coffee authorities and mainstreamed the coffee into the main ministry. In 3 years, they had lost 50% of their coffee exports. Common sense. Once beaten, twice shy. If Kenya tried it and failed, and they are reverting back, they reverted back to the government, to the agency model, why do we want to reinvent the wheel? Why do we want to try something that has failed elsewhere. We are simply telling government, please don't do so. It's been tried elsewhere and found wanting. Secondly, if UCDA, because the argument of General 7 is that it is the Operation Welfare Creation that has led to this success, that is a wrong assumption. There have been so many, but they could have played a small role. Operation Welfare Creation was only at the distribution of seedling stage. Seedlings they were distributing were coming from nursery beds that had been monitored and prepared, organized by UCDA. And from there afterwards, it is UCDA that has been taking over. Therefore, and also the case is, Operation Welfare Creation was not only for coffee, it was for vanilla, it was for mango, it was for limawa, it was for many other things. Let them show us the success of those other crops. Let them show us success, how they've succeeded. Now, the Minister of Agriculture, the people from Chisoro, Kanungu, the Minister of Agriculture, solely has been undertaking our tea. What happened to our tea? We lost accreditation. We cannot export as Uganda tea. What happens? We age our tea on the Kenyan market and it's bought by Kenyans, packed Uganda tea, packed and stamped Kenya and exported to the world. It has been under the watchful eye of the Ministry of Agriculture. They fed on fish until they are to put in the military. They fed on any. I've asked the Minister of Agriculture to give us one crop which they can give us to build the confidence as a benchmark where they have succeeded. Absolutely none. Therefore, we are saying this agency, by the way, in addition to being a chairperson of Ghana Parliamentary Caucus, I also chair Public Accounts Committee. Still cutters of this paper, of this party. And I've just made a very fundamental report, SD, for the national economy, to which government up to now is struggling to put a response. But that's for another day. I've just audited the Ministry of Agriculture. This is the ministry that is in intensive care. It is on oxygen. It is very, very sick ministry. It cannot score a plus on anything. It scores on the minuses. And therefore, this sick ministry, you cannot entrust it with your health what? Baby. Now, the president of the party, Honorable Robert Chaplain, said in the morning, asked me to come and explain to you why the parliamentary stand. Why is the caucus, by the way, give due regards to our leader of opposition. For the first time in the history of Parliament, for as long as I've been there for 10 years, about 10, 12 years. For the first time, Honorable Robert, Right Honorable Joel Senior was able to write a minimum number of MPs that are required to challenge a decision of a speaker. Because ordinarily, the speaker has been using that window of I, and nay, and pass dubious things from today. Courtesy of the record set by Joel Senior will not permit the Speaker of Parliament to pass any other resolution which is anti-people without people voting and Ugandans knowing who has voted. So they will no longer have no. We will just stand up, photo of us and say, let's go to the vote. If the matter is that contentious, we will not do it on every other bill, but those that we feel that are so critical to the welfare of Uganda. I think thanks to the National Unity Platform and our leadership that we got that ministry power for which Right Honorable Speaker Anita Among has been hiding to pass dubious budgets, dubious expenditure, where we can now have the number and the courage to challenge it. That's not a minor's achievement. Mr. President, also, our argument, because finally, we are saying our position as a caucus is that don't rationalize, don't abolish UCDA. Rationalization means abolishing. Dissolving. Section 4 of the bill says we shall dissolve UCDA. We are saying best practices of goodwill is to do it through agency. And the president, Mr. President, you can no longer, and I think General Museveni is going to be hooked on this one properly. If he believes in it, he should wait. Mr. President, in the next 12 months, we shall find him down in the trenches. And on coffee, he's going to lose totally. So we are in it for a long haul. It's not an issue we are going to give up. It will not stop on, even if the marshal numbers, this one, we will struggle and take it to the people of Uganda and tell the president, hands off. Actually, there has been a propaganda, which I will use, Mr. President, in a minute to debunk. The propaganda is that the president called me on the question of UCDA. The president did not call me. Led by the able leadership of the leader of opposition, we agreed to do everything, to talk to anybody, to save coffee. So in the morning, we decided to meet the Speaker of Parliament and make our case. And plead, you know, when you are weak, by the way, let us struggle to go to power. You plead with these people as if we are pleading with the angels on simple, obvious things. So in the morning, the Speaker knows. The caucus met the Speaker. And in the meeting, we made a case. The Speaker said, party people are damn right. But my hands are tied. I'm sent to do this job by the president. And how much vicious way, a little bit dishonest, without seeking the opinion of the caucus, she called the president. There and there, said, Mr. President, the caucus is here, it has made a good case, he thinks this bill is wrong, and therefore it should be removed. That is their view. And without even said, Chairman, here is the president. Here is General Museveni. So there were two things I could do: to refuse, and when I refused, she would have said, it's you as the chair of caucus who refused to speak to General Museveni. So what do? I said, okay, give me that General Museveni. Immediately said, you want to do, go to Murugana. Go to do, Muzamuza Bantu, Oskama Wanga, Okolavichi, Muyeyo, Muzamuza Bantu, Temutegera. Very crude and becoming of a president. For someone he has never talked to. Then I said, okay, Mr. President, for me, I come from Tambara. When I meet a stranger, I greet him with salam. Okay, salam alaikum. Then he realized that simple people don't start addressing others. So and he stopped at that. I said, now, okay, now I hear you now. What are you saying? I told him, Mr. President, what the hell do you want our coffee for? I gave him all the rationale. I said, you know, my government will not accept your propaganda, you are misleading people. I told him, Mr. President, you will accept. I used it now, you can't call a president general. I said, yeah, General President, our stand at the caucus, our stand at the coffee growing community in Uganda, leave UCDA alone. And the business was closed. He said, you go to hell. You are just another radical Muganda. That's why on the floor of Parliament, by the way, God is good. All the time, God is what? Now, the country did not know that this law had been brought to target a particular tribe until the Speaker of Parliament, on the floor of Parliament, now reviewed. She forgot to switch off the mic. That's when God was fighting for the people of Uganda. She forgot to switch off the what? The mic. And made the blood of all brothers. By the way, in other countries, if it had happened in Europe, in everywhere, Anita Among would have resigned yesterday. Good things happened. A Speaker of Parliament, when I was appointed by the For example, I'm a chairperson of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus.
Listen carefully.
Much as I'm NUP, I have other members of caucus who are not NUP. I have members of caucus of NRM, of DP, of CP, of independent. As long as they come from what? This region. So when I'm in that chair, I don't necessarily take the national unity position. I tried to, even if it's the national unity platform position, I try to market it. But I try to try as much as possible to be neutral. Because that's a leadership code of what? Conduct. Now, the Speaker of Parliament is stopped by our rules of procedure to participate, to debate on a matter on the floor. But for her now to take side and say, do we have numbers? That means she had a side. Then use the staff of Parliament to say, please ensure these Baganda don't get the numbers. Now, the Speaker of Parliament in Uganda, we have the anti-sectarian law. So the Speaker of Parliament abused the anti-sectarian law, and as day follows night, when Parliament resumes, tomorrow we are sitting as a caucus again to review our stand, but we don't think two things. We don't think Speaker Anita Among can no longer preside over that Parliament where they are Uganda. Because she's not going to take us away. Is she going to take us away? We are there on the rights of people, so she will not do that. Secondly, we've told her, if we really want, offer an equivocal apology to the people of Uganda and to the people of Uganda. Sadly, we have said, if you fail to do so, resign. The next action, I'm not revealing it here, I need to first agree with our members, which we have, the idea we have. We are saying we may, if she insists. But be as it may, we will ensure Parliament does not proceed on any other matter until that one is resolved. That is our stand. Finally, in English, the President wrote the other day that we are trying. But the people, now, of the things I've said about what is tribe there. But let us examine President Yoweri Museveni on tribalism, where he has a moral authority whatsoever to call any group tribal. This is the president, so to say, for the first time, who appointed her wife a minister. His wife a minister. His son a CPA. His brother a small president. His Mako running the judiciary, running the coffin. Now, can he talk about the tribe? For him, he's even beyond the tribe. He's family. But also let us examine if he doesn't have a conspiracy, because at the end of the day, I read the focus. If he doesn't have a conspiracy against the people of Uganda, Vice President, he says, is Yoweri Kaguta Museveni under his regime. Deputy is who? Alupu. Speaker, Anita who? Vice Speaker, Thomas who? Chief Justice, Prime Minister, they are four. One is Nabanja, she's from Bunyoro. Deputy is Moses Sai. Third is Rebecca Kadaga. Another one is Nakadam. Let's go to his direct appointments. Chief of Defense Forces, Muhozi who? Chief of Police, Abbas who? Chief of Prison is who? Biamasaija. So where do you, Mr. President, get a moral authority? You, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to say a particular group is sectarian. You should go and sleep over that. Then on coffee, so we have debunked his notion of tribalism. Then on coffee, sensible analogy. Some people, I bet one and others, have been trying to market some idea that we dismissed as a caucus. And let me stand here. 3 years, 5 years is not a position of the caucus. The position of caucus is for non-dissolution of UCDA. I've given a crude example for clarity. Can you Newman to a labor ward and say, let me keep you there, you are still virgin, but somehow you'll get a man, and along the way, you'll be pregnant, but you'll give birth in 3 months. You must be a crazy person. Therefore, 3 years don't mean anything. For us, you are saying coffee is too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture. It's too big a crop to be under the Ministry of Agriculture, and we are going to do everything possible. But remember, members of national platform and the country, MPs are not enough. You people, I thank each of you who have been on social media, who have been using every platform, every media to amplify this message. Please, thank you so much. But let's do more. Tomorrow we shall announce an action plan on how we are going to fight this issue for the next 1 or 2 weeks. It is half time. It could be 1 year, but there's still another half to play for. There is still clause 4 for which we are going to resist. Clause 4 is for dissolution of UCDA, the caucus, and other members. And please, do a roll call of all members of the Uganda caucus who never attended the meeting. Where were they? Each of them must account. Where were you when the coffee was being taken? Those are in Uganda. Mr. President, I thank you so much, Your Excellency. Muganda kantandikireni gyenkomi twasijja kulwawo ekyogera ddala president tasobola kujja wano takyayina moral authority General Museveni tokyayina moral authority kuyita muntu yenna tribe. Teri ali tribal gwe kusingayo we Museveni gwasinga okuba tribal. Gwe president wa Uganda yakasooka okulonda mukyalawo mumufuula minisita nolonda mutabani we kaiti akulira amagye muganda wo Jenosali Musale y'omugati alinga naye president omuki omuto n'akwata bakoddomi be kati mpulira mukoddomi we omulwabo ogwo ngenda basomera wano kampani zemanyi okumanya Museveni alimba lowooza tuli badongo bwe twogerera yamaze dda okucontractinga ebitongole ebimu okutunda Emwanyi era ngenda bibabulira wano nga mala mutegere kye kimutwaze Emwanyi ajjawo UCDA kugisa mu nsonda agiwe peneti kugisa mu nsonda agiwe ki lwabooko yamaze dda okukola endagaano ne kampani y'Abachina Chinese Construction Company okugenda okutunda Emwanyi wa eChina ekinaavaamu nti n'Emwanyi zijja kukola ebbeeyi ku faamu y'omulimi. N'olwekyo ku kiri ekya tribe, Mr. President, tukulidde mukyawani naye ne gavumenti yo gye balonda General Museveni katugitunulemu bw'oba Abaganda tubalinaako kikyamu. Olaba omusajja oyo Ssaabasajja nga mugagga nga mulwadde ng'ayagala obujjanjabi ng'abanja gavumenti ya General Museveni bilioni 2.5 yasobola dde okumuwako bilioni 5 musajja watu yejjanjabi omutya omulwadde alwadde akubanja n'otamuwa ssente n'otamusasula ki ssente ze. Naye ekirala walonda kabineti katugitunulemu ssebo omumyukawo alupo sipiika palamenti yo kuba bayisa mu kokasiyo anitamu tayewa ya myuka omulamuzi Winidolo ba prime minister bali bana ye Winidolo ba prime minister bali bana asooka ye Nabbanja mukazi Munyoro amudira Moses Ali ava mu West Nile amudira Rebecca Kadaga Musoga owokusatu Nakadama Musoga. Seba Abaganda bakola ki? Butera ye deputy chief justice Butera ne mubaloya nga tusonga amateeka wano tofunayo wadde n'omu ogakale beerako omumyuka waki wa chief justice n'ogenda n'olonda amagye n'ogawa Muhoozi Kainerugaba n'olonda poliisi n'ogiwa baasi n'ogenda n'olonda ki prison n'ogiwa byaki byabasajja kati atukwata yani ye Muhoozi Kanyugaba na basi atusalira emisango yeyowe edolo atutwala tusiba otusibisa wani wabe abasayide
muwulirize
ne koti y'amajyani agikulira by the way ani akulira koti y'amajyani abaana baffe gye babadde yani ne koti y'amajye naye yamuki yamugabe ne bagenda ku bitongole ebikesi ani director wa iso magambo anamumyuka Katabazi ani director wa eso badipisi bonna sibo president ebyamawanga biveeko sirika Museveni sirike ku byamawanga amawanga yekyayi yesapa yedina gyolya ewaka waliyo ne byabakama yakulya akakiiko kaki kenyokulonda kakati gwe sebo musajja gwe Jeno Museveni ojawa notengerera nossa ekiwandiiko kyaluba amawanga teri akusinga kusosola amawanga okujjako gwe naye wali ogenda mu nsiko ate si national unity platform mugirabe secretary general waffe ye Lubongo ya kiki ekyo oyo muganda oyo muganda kakati ffe awo twasukkawo dda awo wooli mu mawanga emboozi y'amawanga giveeko totubuzaabuza ensonga eziri mu ddiiro bbiri ensooka Emwanyi Jikwaatako eyokubiri Anita Amongo eyakoze byakola togenda mwekwekamu yekwekewwo mugenda kutusaasanya ku mawanga Anita must go
muwulidde bannange
kati ebyo tuwulira ebirala mboozi kinyumya obula tuli kinyumya nga tukutwale wa Mukama Katonda so totunyumya tetwagala abavuga ennaku zino bagamba tetwagala kukola ki manya tetwagala kukola ki manya twagala ebintu bibiri Emwanyi giveeko Anita must resign zensonga mmeka bbiri kati totunyumiza mawanga biki byonna betugamba Emwanyi bajasi be bagikolako obulimawo bwe bakolako bulimwa vanira gwe bakolako aliwa bayinyumya abantu obusaanyi buliwa eyo minisitule gyakweca gyotwala Emwanyi zaffe nakamalo gikolako audit eyo ye minisitule yagula embuzi mukitegera yagula embuzi emu obukadde 7 embuzi emitwalo 2 ne zifa mu wiiki 2 nga baziguze obukadde buki buli mbuzi zafa mu wiiki 2 wekyo kyali mbuzi naki ye minisitule yagula tractor abatamanyi tractor ekikola tractor hydraulic system eno yesitula yagula tractor nezitwala ekalamoja nga tekuli number plate naye nga zagenda nga hydraulic system zaazo tezikola ziri eyo mu Uganda zonna eyo ministry bagiwa okutambuza amazzi ag'ennimiro etulageyo pampu n'emu eyo ministry ndwadde erwadde covid eri mu ICU tosobola kutwalayo bebi waffe Emwanyi yagenda nekubeta munanansi what happened ebyennyanja byagirema buli kimu kyakikolaki nekirema kyatasobola kulumu kutuuza mu mawanga mwebaza babaka ba parliament 7 twalonze bavudde eri all of Uganda wonna mwabaddemu abakyoli bolanya abaani abagisutu abadde nabo Mr. President amawanga mwene ensonga tegagenda kukola ki kukola okakozesa kukuuma Anita Amongo eyagenze n'akola ki mujjeno Museveni eno ensonga tegenda kukola ku nsonga eno tukkirize tukutwale naye tumugambe na kino mu abantu bawa lubalembera ng'embiroko okoze ki kati buli omu twebaza abali ku social media waliwo omwana yakinkoledde senga mumanyi yagenze n'akuba emmandwa n'akuba omutongozi emmandwa kanyonyonsi yakoze omulimu waliwo abawala betulabe nga boogera ebigambo ebirungi ku social media buli omu gyali speak so act like so tujagenda maaso tujja kuwangula Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale kakati banzijukiza wano giri emyaka 2 ejjamba egibwanika 3 ebyo bibye 5 ebyo bibye fe position ya kokasi eri clear ekyesimu nze muwanga Kivumbi nsubira ne President General Museveni enamba yange tagina twali twegayirira bannange tubonaabona twegayirira sipiika ku makyalo tutegeere tuleme kugenda mu palamenti kulwana nenkunga ababaka ba palamenti bonna abatagala Emwanyi tugende tusinkane sipiika betuba twali twogera ne sipiika kati nga mbategedde nnyo nga mulabika muli batuufu nnyo ensonga zammwe ngeze ez'amagezi ensonga zammwe nga eza common sense naye n'ensonga pulezidenti yagituma zisobola gibasabirawo mu ngeri y'olukwesikwesi n'akwata essimu nga tuli mu miitingi awo n'ababaka bonna n'akubira pulezidenti nti amubuulire bitwogedde oba tyabimubuulira bulungi nabanga tabitegedde bulungi naye mukazi wattu oluvannyuma naga ati kale nekyamaani atwala ababaka wali yogera naye ng'atuteza bukodyo bubiri betugaana okwogera ne General Museveni ajja kugamba nti ffe twava abantu ffe twawaayo Emwanyi twagaana okwogera ne pulezidenti nengagali nze ndi musajja ate oyo agenda kunkola ki n'agimpa n'atandika mu ngeri etali ya bulijjo nagamba gomaze ebbanga lyonna ng'oli mututu nga nkunoonya n'agamba nti kakati gwe oli eyo musiriwaza abantu mwonoona abantu musiga bukyayi bw'amawanga n'ayombera eddakiika naye musajja gwe n'enkola eyaffe ey'obufirika omuntu buli gw'otamanyi osooka n'okola ki n'omubuuzaako ne bakalenze eyakuzibwa obulungi kankutolera esalamu kamuguze ku mpisa benamuligiza ku mpisa olwo n'addamu ak'omuntu kale ogamba ki ne munyonyola bimba nyonyodde ku Emwanyi ky'Emwanyi giveeko togikwatako y'abantu baffe ye maama ye taata yetubeezaawo kireke ne munyonyola by the way wakati w'Emwanyi n'amafuta nemugabagana amafuta kwoteredde ebitongole National Oil Company ebisaawe ebiki senga tugasima okumala emyaka 25 tugenda kufuna billion US dollars 22 ebyo biri mu ndagaano billion dollars 2 mu biri okumala emyaka 25 si buli mwaka mu myaka 25 billion dollars 22 ng'olwo bagambye dola baro y'amafuta ejagula dola 5 olwaleero baro egula 10 nolwekyo amafuta gano gonna gemulaba bakuwajejerebu bakola biki tugenda kubafunamu billion dollars ng'eggwanga kubanga endagaano mbi nabanyonyola dda nga ndi finance minister kyamafuta Museveni yagatunda tetunakola ki tetunalaba oyo General Museveni tugenda kufunamu busente butono nnyo Emwanyi leero twalese 1.4 billion betunafuna million bags 20 tugenda kuba tulina billion 3 the trillion 10 buli mwaka tetugenda kuba nga tukola ki nga tufuna mu myaka 25 Emwanyi ejja kubeerese billion 75 n'ekyo diru y'Emwanyi esinga ey'amafuta ogenda owala kyova balese Lwabogo alese simanyi inspire Uganda atuwadde Abachina peneti twamugobesa bugobesi mutugire peneti mu nsonda wali waki wali Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale ne mugamba twala eriko ebintu byo tubiwulidde tukutegedde Katonda omulungi ono atali nguzi laba omukombozi we anite bwavaayo n'atunyonyola bulungi ekyama ekiri emabega kyatagetinga Baganda mwamutegedde gyokiserese webali kunonda nenkulira nembeera finance minister nembeera kyeyawa kokasi nembeera kyeyawa paaka senga sigwe senga siriiwo ompadde ne ku sente Ssaabasajja Kabaka akole ki mbiro mbimanyi mbikola lwa President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Mukama Katonda akuwa obuwangazi
musabusubinge bambi mulaikinge video ate era mu commentinge
wanakamwanyi kaliwo lukubulire wanakamwanyi kaliwo wanakamwanyi kaliwo nalinda kaliwo ekamunika kaliwo manakisa hayayimba bannange wana abasajja banjawo nakuligola olubagambako makimanyi bannange omuyayi yayimba kisa ayimba bannange mushayalinga video bambe mushayalinga video eno ataliko bagala nnyo mubeereko
naye nkya tugenda kubeera ku Paali FM Emwanyi. Honorable Kirumira Hassan Kulaba has joined us. Mayor Serunjoji Avuudemu, you're most welcome. Doctor, that one is very educated. He has a doctorate in what? Public administration. Dr. Serunjoji Avuudemu. Yes, even today we have Kaluya. I talked about you. Oh, the man from the Eastern Uganda. And of course our PPS is with us. Sarah Mwonge, you're most welcome. We have Honorable Katabazi, he joined us, you're most welcome. We have Honorable Serukenya David, you're most welcome. Martin de Sabagabo. So Mr. Mwanga Chivumbi, Permanent Secretary wa Ministry of Agriculture, bamwita Meja Chasura Chomoka. Naye Minister wa Agriculture, mu by'okubba yafuna omuddaali mu ministry gye yali bamwita Tumwebazi. Ye mumyuka wa Minister wa Agriculture. Hano mumyuka era Mirama, bana ye Museveni toli musosozi. Uliriza, aina Mirama atamanya kikamuze. Sitakwata amera Mirama Tumwebaze Meja Cholisima. They are the ones managing where they want to send the coffee. Atenga Lwaboko, we bawazire billioni enya mwenda muigo kunywa kawa. Naye kubameka wana abafuna ku kawa oyo gwe yagabira abantu babo. Era ne mu parliament ya Uganda Anita Amongo ya facilitating Lwaboko okufuna Lwaboko yawasa muwala wa Museveni. Kati oyo mukoddomi waki wa Museveni. Omulimu gwakola kati gwa kutunda kawa. Bamuwa $1,010,000 ze billioni 37 anonya katale. Nawe bakuwa billioni 37 n'oba ng'obeere waife mu kyalo Idudi. Wallahi osobola ononya bakuwa abafuna. Alina 37 billioni. Billioni nya kunywako. Mbwabanywa abantu bayiga okunywa kawa. Kyokka ate ne bamwongera 37. Agenda amutunda ebweru. Yo yayogera ku mawanga. So byonna bali mu lukwesi yeye nyini kuba twagamba nti Pineti ye Museveni. Teri Pineti ye Museveni. So Museveni akozesa kati government eno gye yawamba okuwa Pineti okwewa. Naye mwebali nnyo mwebali ddala abaka ba parliament era tuli mabega wammwe. Ffe twabagamba nti abantu abo olwagweyerusa si beerufu nnyo naye nga balowooza tulimba. She's a mafia. So ffe ebyokumujja mu ntebe tujja kubawakira. Ndoza ni NUP ejja kubawakira. Kuba that has been our position since then. Mr. Secretary General, come and address the press and also invite the President.
Thank you very much. Obugalo bwa Comrade Wise wa Alex Mfumbiyo. People power. Our power. Mr. President, members of NEC present, members of Parliament, mayors, speakers, councillors, fellow leaders at different levels. I think I will not say much because I think Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi has done as well to elaborate what is going on. Tubadde twanjula candidate waffe ne posta eyo katugirage bannamawulire agenda kwaniriza president abantu balage tuli serious kati tugenda Kisoro very very soon. Please push it up very well. Secondly, I want to announce to you, ladies and gentlemen, we have been telling you that we are soon resuming our nationwide tour, and next week we shall start our nationwide tour. I don't want to tell you which district we are going to, but it will be in that man's region. Honorable Kaluya, we are going to teach us some eastern region. Next week, tutandika tujja kubeera mu Eastern Uganda. Era abantu ba Eastern Uganda mutulinde tukola ki? Tujja. Yes, isn't this a wonderful poster for our candidate in Kisoro? So, we are going to be in Kisoro. The nominations are going to be this week in Kisoro, and we shall all be there to support our candidate. Tugenda kubera mu district ya Kisoro nga bwe mbagambye regime already erimu kulaga basobola okutya tobola bakoze buli kimu kyonna kyonna okulaba nga batuwa akabanga akatono nnyo for campaigns. Bweraba district erina egombolola 24 naye ne bakuwa ennaku 12 zokka okukampeininga. Ate mumanye nti ebyo ebitundu biri diverse. Olaba osobola okuva mu kitundu kimu ng'olina okuvuga essaawa 2 okutuuka mu kitundu ekirala. Naye okuba tebaagala tutuukeyo kyova olaba batuwadde baagala tubeere mugombolola 2 mu lunaku lumu, which is not practical. Mujjukire kye baakola last time mu kaluuko bwa president. Edda etteeka lyali likyogera bulungi nti presidential candidate alina okubeera mu district emu buli lunaku. Naye mu kulonda kuno kwaggwa kubanga baali batutya nnyo nnyo batulemesa ne twesanga tulina okukola district 3 buli lunaku. Kati bye bakole ebyo kyova olaba awamu twali tugendayo ssaawa 4 ez'okumakya ne tuvaayo nga tulina okubeera wala ssaawa 6 ate tuveeyo tugenda walala ssaawa 8 wa 9 era ne bakugamba nga essaawa 12 olina okuba olekedde awo okukampeininga. Kati nkyasiseeyo mukitegeera mwena nti bakimanyi bulungi nnyo nti singa tufuna ekiseera ekimala n'abantu b'Ekisoro ne tutuuka mu buli kitundu kyonna kyonna mu district eyo baba tebalina kye balimba abantu kubanga bo batambulira ku bulimba byabadde ayogerako kandidate waffe ijana ku ijana. Bagenda ne basiiwaza abantu tebabawa services. Mwala wajuzi twagendayo president waffe bwe yakyalira abantu beeyo abatwa nasanga nga tebalina tanks, tebalina mazzi, tebalina kyakozesa kyonna kyonna. Era ne tugenda ne tubadde libadikira tanka n'emmere n'ebirala bwetyo. Kakati abantu abo ne tugezaako okubagula amaaso. Kati kyova olaba batuwa period ntono nnyo nnyo campaigninga kubanga tebaagala tutuuke eri abantu tubazuukuse tubagule amaaso. Naye ekyenjagala obakakasa tugenda kubeerayo era tubasaba mwenna abasobola mugende mubeere Ekisoro at least mukole ekintu kimu kyonna ekyokuzibula bano abantu amaaso okulaba nti ijana ku ijana tekola kubanga ijana ku ijana kudirukinga abantu tebalina byakulya ng'abantu tebalina mayumba tebalina we basula abaana tebasoma. Eyo district is one of the poorest districts in Uganda. Eyo tetwogerako Kisoro naye n'owulira nga wasiiwaza ba RDC bagenda ku radio ne bagamba ijana ku ijana ekitegeeza 100%. Mu kulonda okwagwa bwe baalaba bye twali tukola ne bakwata bano abantu abasinga ne babasiba candidates agents baffe ne babasiba n'ebirala bwe bityo. So tujja Ekisoro okulaba nga candidate waffe Honorable Tana kampuyite ne Honorable nga bukyali naye temulaba nti asobolera ddala wa Honorable
omwana asobola
amusobolera ddala already confirmed. Kale abana nga si tutebudde bonna bulala. I don't want to waste any other time. Yeah, before I actually, that's a very important thing. Before I invite the president, our comrade Achireo is here. Where is he? Comrade Achireo, who just returned from detention for a very long time. People power. Sebo tukusanyukidde okulaba olunaku olwaleero okubanga ye press conference yo esoose okubeera wano. Ono omukulu yatutwala wano mu nsonga za security ku kitebe kyaffe. Mumanyi bulungi nnyo be bamutuusaako n'ebirala bwe bityo. Naye nammwe njagala kubeebaza mwenna abadimandinga for the release of Comrade Achireo. Mwebale nnyo ababeeranga bakuleetedde sapule kubanga abasajja bwe bakwata Achireo kye basooka okukola mukimanyi bulungi nnyo bamwambula sapuleye era president najalo najibalaga webali nnyo honorable eno yafudde Vatican era ndaba ekifaananyi kya Papa weekiri muganda waffe akirewo thank you for coming back ate webali nnyo okukomawo ng'oli strong webali nnyo webali ddala. Mr. President, without taking any other time, let me invite you to come and address these people and the nation. People power, our power, NUP, everywhere, NUP, everywhere.
Thank you. Thank you.
People power, our power, NUP, and everywhere.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please resume your seats. Thank you, SG. I also want to add my voice in welcoming back Comrade Achileo. Strong, brother, strong. One day all this will be history. I also want to congratulate Comrade Tana, Honorable Tana. Eranga Waneragambi already confirmed. We'll be there, we'll stand with you, and we'll weather the storm together. I've not seen Swabra or the Giants. I want to congratulate them. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time on Saturday. Congratulations, comrade. Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi did justice to this matter, and that has helped me. I'm going to be very, very brief on this coffee bill. Although Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi was a little too diplomatic, and he had a lot of English, like all experts. But in simple terms, this coffee bill is an attack on coffee farmers in Uganda. And this is not Anita Mong's bill, this is Museveni's bill. Museveni is the architect of this bill. Among and others are only enablers. This is not the first attempt. Museveni tried to take your coffee, hiding behind Beneti. So this is yet another attempt, and he will not stop until we stop not just the bill, but the man himself. It is no secret. He has a very, very clear path, a clear trail behind him. Remember what happened to vanilla. Once upon a time, a kilo of vanilla was 300,000 shillings. And now, it's 10,000 shillings, I think. 3,000 a kilo. But the price of vanilla on the international market has not reduced. But now, it's just a few people, Sudil-san and a few people connected to the powerful are the ones that own Uganda's vanilla, all your vanilla. Not only vanilla. Abasogamoliwo, you know what happened to the sugar cane? It started by zoning, now you know how much a sugar cane is. The price of sugar just continues to go up. Same thing that happened to many other things, including Mairunji. Pineapples, etc., etc., etc. The people that come from West Nile, you know what happened to tobacco. No wonder you don't have thriving, distributors, you don't have Sportsman, Benson and Hedges, and all those other cigarette factories and manufacturers here anymore. It was deliberate. The people of Western Uganda, you know what happened to milk. Milk products have never cut prices, but your milk was controlled and given to one family, Museveni's family. You know what happened to our gold. Now gold is exclusively belonging to one family. And all the gold mines, if it's not for Janet, it's for Saleh. If it's not Saleh, it's Mohozi. If it's not Mohozi, it is Sodom and others. You know what is happening to our fish. You cannot fish on our God-given nets, given to a few people. So me, I want to be blunt and say that all lucrative sectors are given to Museveni's family in a way of colonizing you further, of taking away your national wealth, of making sure they control your income, because only poor people can be effectively controlled. That is what Museveni is doing. These are not amongs. They are only tools. They are pawns being used. Forget the nonsense of cutting costs. That is a blunt lie. I mean, the same person that is claiming that is cutting costs has RDCs, useless RDCs. Now deputy RDCs and assistant deputies. Sounds like a joke, but it's true. That is Museveni for you. The same person who claims he wants to cut costs has 82 ministers. Many of them, I'm sure he does not know them. That's the person who's claiming he wants to cut costs. He has presidential advisors. He uses 2 billion every day. He oversees the loss of 10 trillion shillings in corruption. The same person who could control it. It is under his protection that one of his courts smuggled a bill of 9.6 billion shillings. Apparently, like Comrade Wise was saying, to teach Ugandans how to drink coffee. That is the person who is claiming to want to cut costs. In the Dubai Expo, they spent 3 billion of our money just to hire a store on Modala, Dubai. 3 million in Komisa. The same person, the same regime that claims they want to cut costs under State House alone. I mean, he claims he wants to merge, and that's a lie. It's not merging. Like Honorable Mwanga Chibumbi put it clearly, Section 4 of that bill puts it clear. They want to scrap UCDA and put it under Ministry of Agriculture. But the same person knows that we have URA, but he created the Revenue Intelligence Unit and he gave it to a known thief. The same person knows that we have Ministry of Health, but under State House there is Health Monitoring Unit with a budget. The same person claiming he wants to cut costs, we have Ministry of Lands, but he created Land Monitoring, Land Protection Unit under State House. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You have IDG, but you have State House Anti-Corruption Unit. So, I mean, those things of saying they're cutting costs, it's a lie. It's a wrong excuse. But that's the Museveni that we have known all the time. And those of you that didn't know him, now that is the Museveni for you today. Our farmers, our coffee producers, have wailed, they've said, save UCDA. It's helpful. Because indeed it's helpful. Yes, our coffee is not as vibrant as it was in yesteryears. But UCDA has been very helpful. Under UCDA, you've seen that coffee farmers have been happy. They've noticed a growth in the production of coffee, in the value of coffee, on the international market, etc., etc., etc. So, why then stop something that's functioning well to reduce it to a system of things that have failed? You have seen the corruption in the Ministry of Lands, even before the current minister. I mean, the same Lands Ministry oversaw the selling of national ranches to individuals, companies, and groups. And now, that's the same ministry under which you want to place our coffee. In brief, Museveni wants to place our coffee in the hands of
Rwamirama, in the hands of Tumwesije, in the hands of, who is the permanent secretary? Major Shomuka. That's where Museveni wants to place your coffee. So this, in no uncertain terms, is an attack on the pockets of the coffee growers. And he knows who the coffee growers are. It is a plan to have a few people take your coffee and control you financially and economically. Also, the idea of putting a plant in Tungamo is not practical. Why? Because coffee growers are scattered all over the country. You want to tell me coffee from Bugisu has to first travel and go to Tungamo? And what was the logic behind that? Is Tungamo the most vibrant coffee growing district in Uganda? You know the reason why they're doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the spirit in which this bill was brought, I can tell you it is an attack. And I mean, God is wonderful. It works in different ways. And it among, in English there's a kind of tongue slip called a fluidish slip, where you accidentally spill the beans and say out what is on your heart. In Uganda, there's the Mandwa Mandwa. Hey, in Uganda, waliwo Mandwa jebaita bwanika. Ekutemba nobaye nobyogera nga totegedde. So, it's not very good to joke with this Baganda because they have that Mandwa. Now Anita Mong ended up spilling the beans. So, this bill, ladies and gentlemen, I will be crude. This bill is intended to punish the people of Uganda and the people of Bugishu and all those coffee growers for voting Museveni out. They are looking for all avenues where you earn a coin and they want to steal for it. What they have done to vanilla, what they are doing to the lakes and all the water bodies is what they want to do to the coffee. And if you don't fight back, they will succeed. You remember these people wanted to take your land by bringing an amendment to ensure that when the government, and you know the government is Museveni, that when the government wants your land, they first take it and then tell you how much they'll pay. If you didn't fight, you would have lost the land. If you don't fight this time, you're in big trouble. So this is a way of clamping down on you. It is intended to impoverish you because poor people will always be beggars. That is the intention. The coffee industry, ladies and gentlemen, here in Uganda is sustaining more than 2 million families. Did you say 2.5? Yeah, in Uganda. 12 or 2? Families. Wow, not 2 hours wrong. 12 million families are surviving on coffee. And now, somebody wants to take them on their knees using this bill. And if you don't fight, my friends, that's exactly what you are facing. I request you to reject it firmly. But most importantly, and this is very important, please note it, that those that are presenting that bill and those that are speaking for that bill are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. No, this attack is a crime. It's a crime on you impoverishing people deliberately. It's a crime. It's supposed to be a crime. And these people speaking for that bill, for that deliberate effort to impoverish our people, they are not innocent. They are not only expressing an opinion. They are part of that project. They are part of that plan. They have a duty. Their role is just to speak. Their role is a propaganda role. You need to understand this. In every attack on a people, everyone has a role. The military has a role to brutalize you. The so-called intellectuals have a role to go on TV, put on ties, and speak a lot of intellectual dishonesty to sanitize it. So this is an attack on people which will have dire consequences if you don't fight back. And those people speaking for it should be equally culpable. They are not innocent. So treat them just like they are masters, because they are serving a role. Their role is a propaganda role, and that propaganda role is very, very effective in breaking a people. Very, very sadly, some of them are paid. Not just paid, but they are paid members of that affected group of people. I'll say that again. Some of those are paid members of that affected group of people, because they know that the affected group of people will trust them and believe them easily. They are criminals too. Amongst words, ladies and gentlemen, were not a mistake. Those are words of Museveni. Those are words of amongst friends. Those are words of amongst friends. Many of them are from here in Uganda. Have you seen them? Have you heard from them? Did you see them in Parliament on that day? No. I'm asking, did you see them on Parliament that day? No. Have you heard anything from them? Hopefully the first word they speak when they show up will not be Kyagulanyi tayagala Buganda. I hope this opens your mind. I hope this shows you that this regime attacks different groups differently. Nobody is safe. What happened in Karamoja when they took their minerals that would have transformed their lives is exactly what happened in Busoga when they crushed the sugar cane. That is what is going to happen to Bugisu, to Uganda, and many other regions in Uganda that benefit from coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also talk about our political prisoners who are forced to take a guilty plea. These are innocent people. When I was speaking last time, I encourage all of you to stand with them, to be kind to them, to understand them. I also want to inform you that the regime has no limits on how far it can go with this shamelessness. Now, apparently, they want to take those people to Chankwanzi as soon as they come out of prison. I spoke to one of them, our sister Olivia Altaya. She knows I understand, and she knows many of you understand. She expressed her fears and told us that whatever we can do, we should help her and other friends that have not weakened yet to defend them, because once they are convicted, all they have to do is serve their sentence and get the hell out of prison. Museveni and his regime have no power or responsibility over Olivia Lutaya and those prisoners. So after their sentence, they should be freed. But that will not happen unless if you raise your voices. Please don't forget them. Continue raising your voices for them. I also want to remind us, all of us, about our missing brothers. Up to now, several years later, our brother John Bosco Chibalama is still missing. On Saturday, his twins, who are now 8 years, they were 2.5 years when he was taken away. Now, his twins, Noreen Chibalama and Samuel Chibalama, were having their confirmation in the Catholic Church, and I had to go and stand in as their father. But it's not only Chibalama John Bosco, we have Damalila John, we have Wangolo Shapik, we have Rukwago Martin, we have Semodo Michael, Musisi Mbowa, we have Narumo Vincent, Zemola Dennis, Kanata Muhammad, Katumba George, Mbabazi John, Moses, Saint Peter Yuda, Mugumya Arafat, Kityo Peter, Muemba Mustafa, Mobiru Hassan, Sesazi Isma, Kisembo Godfrey, and those are the few that we were able to know. They are still missing. We still want them back, dead or alive. So Museveni and your people, please bring back our people. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Muzikirize mbizene mu Luganda mpola mpola. Basebo ne banyabo, olwedde namaze dda okuyozayoza candidate waffe Comrade Tana, Honorable Tana, candidate waffe owa Kisoro district. Olwedde maze okukulisaayo muganda waffe akireewo mu Batuju ate nga bo be bayita bannaabo Abatuju. Maze okuyozayoza mannyinaffe Swapula Omwasi ne Chaliwe Bobi Giant batuweeseza ekitiibwa over the weekend. Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi atukoze bulungi nnyo kuba ensonga z'Emwanyi azinnyonnyodde bulungi. Naye nga bwe ngambye nti yabadde decent nnyo, abadde mukkakkamu nnyo ng'ayogera ku nsonga zino n'olulimi akozesezza olulimi olw'ekigunjufu kuba bwe kirina okubeera. Ekyennaku ebiseera ebimu bw'oba oyogera ku nsonga ez'abantu abataliimu bugunjufu n'akamu, abataliimu kuswala n'akamu, nze ndowooza nti wabawo ekiseera ebigambo tolina bibikirira n'obyogera nga bwe biri. So munzikirize yasa okutaanya ensonga za Honorable Mwanga Kivumbi ze mbyogere bwogezi nga bwe biri. Nti lino etteeka ly'Emwanyi okujjawo Uganda Coffee Development Authority okuginyiga mu ministry y'ebyobulimi. First of all, kyabulimba balimba nti baagala bigatabogasi, baagala kujjawo ekitongole kya UCDA bakiteeke mu ministry y'ebyobulimi. Ministry eyo ekulibwa Frank Tumwebaze nga Minister of State ye Pride wa Mirama, ate nga permanent secretary yani Ikamukamu. Abantu bennyini betulabye gye buvuddeko nga buli ministry gye bakoleddemu babadde banyankuluzi. Ministry yennyini eyo ebyobulimi mumanyi party yazanya mu kutunda n'okugabangula branches oba amalundiro agali agavumenti agali mu mayiro ne mayiro ez'ettaka. Naye ekyo kivuddeko njagala ensi yonna ekimanye nti obwo bulumbaganyi obwakoleddwa ku balimi b'Emwanyi nga baagala okubaavuwasa, nga baagala okubafukamiza kubanga abaavu be bafugika. Eryo etteeka si lya Anita Mongo, eryo etteeka lyabagiddwa Museveni. Anita Mongo ne banne just bakozi, n'eryo etteeka lyabagiddwa Museveni. Abasse batunuulira ensonga munajjukira nti tekitandise kati, ate Emwanyi tebazitandise kati, baagala oddozitwala. Naye ekyo ekintu kimu kye bakola ku Vanilla. Mikwano gyaffe bangi nnyo Vanilla yali atuusiza obulamu bwabwe. Mujjukira enkuntigo ya Vanilla kiro yali egula $300. Naye kaakati nze mbagamba kiro egula $1,000, Honorable Katabaazi n'aŋŋamba nedda oli ku bikadde kati egula $300. Ekiboga be bagitunda ebbeeyi bagitunda $500, yali ku $300. Njagala obajjukiza akatale ka Vanilla tekasalanga tekakenderanga mu nsi yonna. Ku katale k'ensi yonna Vanilla kyagula kyekimu. Naye mu abalimi baagala babafootolere wano kubanga bataddewo etteeka toyina woyinza mu kutunda, oyina muguzaffe. Kaakati abantu abagula Vanilla bali 3-4 nga mwabo mwe muli mutabani wa Sudiru. Kwe kamba makinga sure obugagga bw'ensi yonna babukwata ne babusa mu bantu 3 oba 4. Either abaabo ab'omunju oba abagwira be basobola okontrolinga. Ekyo tebakikomya ku Vanilla, ekyo bakikola ku bikajjo. Era abaana b'e Busoga mumanyi bulungi, twakula tumanyi cash crop eve Busoga bikajjo nga Abasoga beewaana n'ebikando. Kati waiswa era ddamu weewaana n'ebikajjo se. Bwe batyo bwe baakola Museveni bwe yasobola okunafuya ebyennyingiza ebyenfuna by'Abaganda baffe ab'e Busoga n'abalala abatali Busoga, naye abaalimanga ebikajjo tebyalimanga Busoga, naye kubanga bisinga kulimwa Busoga be baali target people era nasobola ekibatuusaako. Mu ngeri emu Baganda bange njagala mujjukire gye buvuddeko myezi mitono baasalako amayirungi, era abalimi b'amayirungi bali mu kweyaguza bittu. N'ova ku ekyo tebakomawo bagenda ku buli sekita na buli bantu balima kintu. Ab'omu West Nile bwe baali basinga okulima wano taba. Ekyo nakyo ekiggwa bwe kityo. Abaana b'omwankole abaali bafulumya amata bamakinga sure nti amata ago gakontrolingibwa mukoddomi wa Museveni yawasa muwalawo. Tekyakomaawo buli kyabugagga kya ggwanga si bya bulimi byokka byokka. Tunulira gold. Kati gold wa family ya Museveni yekkirizibwa yokka okuzuubula gold okumufulumya eggwanga ate nga tesasula na musolo. Ebirombe bya gold mu Uganda byonna kati bya family ya Museveni, kiba si kya Janet, kiba kya Sale, kiba kya Sita Sale, kya Muhoozi, kiba si kya Muhoozi, kya Sodo. Muze mu birabo yonna mubende erubaali ne walala byenkola gye baze bakola. Ebyennyanja kati ennyanja zonna basalako okuvubirako olina kubeera waabwe. Bwe batyo bagenze banyigiriza ebyenfuna by'abannansi kakati ssaawa zino bali ku Emwanyi. So njagala mukimanye nti eno effort oba ono kaweefube ng'okufaanana ku kaweefube omulala abaddewo wakubavuwaza kubakakanya kubafukamiza mubeere nga temulina kyemugamba okujjako nga mufukamiridde Museveni oba abafamireyo. Of course aboogezi be bavuddeyo nga bagamba nedda twagala kukendeeza ku nfulumya, tetusobola kubeera ne ministry ebyobulimi ate nga tulina n'ekitongole ekikulaakulanya Emwanyi ekya coffee ekya Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Naye kambabuuze, omuntu agamba nti ayagala kugatta bitongole bino okufulumya ssente kukendeere ye muntu y'omu ayina baminisita 82 abamu tabamanyi na mannya. Mujjukira Amini ayina baminisita bameka 18. Museveni ayina baminisita 82. Oyinza n'okera ku makya ng'ayongeddeko omulala. Ayina ba RDC n'ateekako ne ba deputy RDC kati ataddeko ne ba assistant deputy RDC. Abo bonna basasulwa ku ssente ya muwa musolo owa Uganda. Naye agamba teyagala kukola ki kukendeeza kwejaajaamya n'asaasaanya. Ye muntu y'omu akozesa biliyoni 2 buli lunaku. Biliyoni 2 oyinza okugamba ze bafumbisa baziteeka mu kyoto. Ye muntu y'omu abantu be babba triliyoni 10 buli mwaka kuzimaze okusolozebwa mu musolo. Zo balinda nga zimaze okusolozebwa ne basooka ne batemako ezaabwe. Ye muntu y'omu agamba nti kati Emwanyi ayagala ginyiga mu ministry ey'ebyobulimi. Naye nga ministry nyingi bwe ziri. Waliwo ministry y'ebyobulamu, Ministry of Health. Naye under State House yateekawo Health Monitoring Unit naye nagiwa budget number eringa ministry. Tulina Uganda Revenue Authority naye yataddewo Revenue Intelligence Unit mu State House nagiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry. Tulina ekitongole kya IGG Inspector General of Government naye yateekawo State House Anti-Corruption Unit naye nagiwa budget eringa ya ministry. Yagamba nti ayagala kugatta ze ministries. Tulina Ministry of Land naye yateekawo State House Land Protection Unit nagiwa budget naye eringa ya ministry. Naye agamba tikuche Emwanyi tusaasanya ssente nyingi nnyo. So njagala mumanye ti bino byakubasiruwaza naye ng'ekigendererwa kubaabuwaza agenza okulaba mu Emwanyi mugaggawala nnyo. N'agamba nazo kanzikwateko ate nga bumunakkiriza nazo tezitwala. Museveni tagenda kyalina kyagenda balekera. Mujjukira banga toneriise yali ayagala kutwala ttaka lyammwe lyonna ng'ayagala kuyisa teeka nti gavumenti ate nga mumanyi Museveni ye gavumenti wano. Bw'aba yeegombye ettaka ajja buzi n'agamba lino ettaka gavumenti eyagala agitwala tujja kubulya sente meka gavumenti ejja okuwa. Abantu bamala kulemerako ekyo ne kifa. So musaba muleme kusuula step mulemereko nnyo ku mulundi guno kubanga singa temulemerako baganda bange mujja kuba muwendo. Honorable Muwanga Kifumbye tukoze bulungi nnyo n'obitunnyonnyola mu detail yabyo. tekwali mugaso gwonna gwa kugatta bitongole kuba kibagezaako okukola. Kenya yakikolako enyingiza mu sekta y'emmwanyi neyeesala ebitundu 5 ku 10 balina okuddayo emabega. Kakati ffe yes emmwanyi yaffe si ya tefuna nnyo nga bwe tulowooza bwelina okufuna nga bwe yali efunyeeko gye bwako. Naye at least Uganda Coffee Development Authority ebadde eyambyeko abalimi, era bino bikugamba biva mu balimi abalimi b'emmwanyi nga bo bagamba ebayambyeko nti buli mwaka wabaddewo enkulaakulana, wabaddewo growth mu bulimi bw'emmwanyi, obungi bwe tufulumya n'omutindo gwe tufulumya. Obungi bwayo bweyongera ebitundu 3 ku buli 100 mu kufulumya emmwanyi wano. Jukira UCDA ebadde ekola okumala emyaka kati 33 nga tewali complaint balimi gye balinako, ne kakati bagadi scrappingawo nga already statistics zikulaga nti ebadde growinga. Growth ebadde 6.33, ebadde okula okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi obungi bwazo zeeyongedde omwaka oguwedde 2023-2024 financial year gweyongedde by 6.33 ku buli 10, obutundu 6 n'obutundu 3.3 ku buli 10 yakulaakulana y'emmwanyi. Tweyongedde okufulumya okuva okusinziira ku mwaka buli omwaka twafulumya ensawo z'emmwanyi 5,800,000 2022-2023. Ne kakati statistics zikulaga nti omwaka guno 2023-2024 okufulumya emmwanyi kubadde okwongedde okutumbuka. Twebaza bonna abapromoting emmwanyi okuzirima n'ozifulumya nti kati omwaka guno gwako guno gwe tulimu gwennyini financial year yennyini tufulumiza obusawo bw'emmwanyi bubaaga 6,000,000 n'obutundutundu 13. So wabadde okutumbuka mu kufulumya emmwanyi ne mu quality ne mu kuyingiza. Bw'oba osindise ku biwandiiko ebya Uganda Coffee Development Authority ojja kulaba nti omwaka guli twatuna emmwanyi za $1 million 848. Nate financial year eno tutunze emmwanyi za $1 billion namba mu milioni 14 mu milioni 14. So olabawo enkulaakulana. Kati enkulaakulana eyo mu kutunda emmwanyi n'omutitimbe gwa ssente guno gwe twogerako Museveni agwagala nga tegugenda mu mmwe bannayuganda nga guli mu bantu be. Ekyo kyayagala era bwe munakikiriza bwe kigenda okubeera. Eyo engeri yokka gy'osobola okufugamu abantu nga waba ssente nnyingi naga wano wabaawo $1 billion namba n'omusolo. Kakati esekita mugimpe ndikwasa abantu bange tebabalimba n'omulundi n'ogumu. Emmwanyi kibadde kyabugaga eri bannayuganda historically wadde twaserengerera, naye essaawa zino tuli ba musanvu mu nsi yonna mu kulima emmwanyi. Naye yetagala kibeere nti bannayuganda ffenna ffe b'omusanvu ayagala kubeera nti ye abantu be ab'omunju bakwasizza emmwanyi zaffe be bannamba 7 n'obugagga obwo bugenda eriko. So kino kigenderere kukwata sekta y'abantu abangi miliyoni ne miliyoni. Honda bampa budde wano ti miliyoni 10 families enju miliyoni 12. Omanya amaka obukadde 12 n'ekitundu nga be bafuna mu mmwanyi, be bayimiriddewo ku mmwanyi, be basabayidinga ku mmwanyi, be basomeseza abaana ku mmwanyi. Abo bonna obugagga bw'abantu, obugagga bw'enju ebeeramu abantu bameka ekitundu. Twogera ku nnyumba miliyoni 12 n'ekitundu. Obwo obugagga bwonna baagala bwefunza. Mu lunaku lumu baagala kukyusa ekyo obugagga obwo buve mu bantu abo budde mu family ya Museveni n'abo abamulya mu ngalo. So that is the reality. Era njagala obasaba namwe mukinyonyola abantu abalala baki understanding bajja kuleeta obubadi bungi. Kati bagambye twataddewo coffee plant eri ntungamu. Yes, kirungi ze ntungamu bakodomi bange, naye tubeere b'amazima. Emwanyi ziri mu Uganda yonna. Ongamba otya nti Emwanyi ezivudde Mbale, ezivudde wano Buganda, ezivudde Soroti, ezivudde zonna zirina kukola ki? Kiba kyabwenkanya abaffe Entungamo ye district esinga okulima emmwanyi mu ggwanga lino. So awo nawo wabaawo obutali bwenkanya. Nga natera okumaliriza njagala tutunulire n'omwoyo etteeka lino mwe baalireetedde. Mwoyo ki mwe baaleetedde lino etteeka? Lino etteeka mu ndaba y'omuntu yenna ne bw'aba ategeera mpola mpola alaba nti lino etteeka baalireese kubonereza Abaganda. Kubanga mwoyo singa okulima emmwanyi n'abeeyo e Bukisu. Ate nkyogedeko wano mu Luzungu naye mbadde serious nti wano mu Buganda waliwo ebintu byawo. Naye ate mu mmandwa eziri wano waliwo emmandwa gye bayitaani esobola okukola ki? Mugende muginoonyerezeeko asinyiddemu. Emmandwa mwanattu esobola okutemba wonna wooli nga wakoze ekikolobero oba wabbye wanse muntu obeera awo ogenda okulaba ebigambo bikusamuttuse nga weeyanise ng'ekwanise. Mu Lungereza bakiyita Freudish slip of tongue. Niffe wano Buganda bagiyita mmando. Obyogera totegedde. Kati yagenze n'ettemba anita amongo n'abyogera byonna byonna. So ekyo njagala kibalage omwoyo gwe baaleeteddemu etteeka lino babadde baagala kukkakanya. Ate Anita Amongo ebigambo byayogedde si bigambo bye, ebigambo bya Museveni naye okusingira ddala bigambo byabo bakwano ba Anita Amongo. Lwaki ngamba bigambo byabwe? Mwabalabyeko mu parliament ng'ensonga enkulu ennyo ekwata ku bantu be bagamba nti babagala nnyo. Mwabalabyeko, mwabawulizzaako kibeewunyisa. So ekyo kiri kye mbadde njogerako nti basobola okukwata abantu bwe baali baagala okubba ettaka mu apa bafuna abantu mu north ne babafuna ne babaleeta bogerera ensonga eyo. Baba baagala okunyigiriza abasiraamu bajja kufunayo omusiraamu yeebikirire na nnyo ajje ng'ayogera okusapootinga ekyo ekinyigiriza abasiraamu. Ne mu ngeri eno lwakuba ensonyi zikyali nnyingi naye jja balaba nga bavuddeyo n'abana batandise okuvaayo okubikkirira Anita Amongo. Mujja balaba nga bafuba nnyo okubakonvinsinga mmwe okubalaga nti omuntu abanyigiriza ye mukwano gwammwe ate omuntu agezaako balwanirira ye mulabe wammwe. Mujja kubalaba nga bafuba nnyo. Tekyemunyisa yagadde bajjukiza nti abantu abafaanana bwe batyo bassemu ne bannyabo bye boogera just tebiba birowoozo byabwe. Njanze ndowooza bwenge birowoozo byange byawukana ku byo. No, teba nsobi. Eno project yonna ey'okunfavorishinga ey'okunafuya n'okwagwaza n'okufufugaza abantu. Era eyo project ebaako abantu bangi, wabawo abagikulira, wabawo abaplayinga paati ng'ey'Anita Amongo, waliwo abaplayinga paati ey'okuwamba obuwambi abantu, waliwo n'abaplayinga paati ey'ogendanga ku mpewo ne boogerera ebyo ebikolobero nga babifuula ebirungi. Ate abaplayinga paati nene kuba baagala okulaga nti ate omuntu omukyamu ye mutuufu, omutuufu ye mukyamu. Baagala okulaga nti mulabewo ye mukwano gwo, mukwano gwe ye mulabewo. Abantu abo mubeegendereza nga tebabeera innocent, babeera part of that plan. So mbanga mubatunulire kaliriza kuba nabo bali equally oppressive. Vira ddala waggulu bannange nga mbajjukiza nti singa mukkiriza ne babatwalako emmwanyi zammwe munaaba musigaza ki? Mujja kuba temulina kimusigaza. Mbeebaza okumpuliriza, njagala okubakoowoola mwenna naddala bali around Western Uganda tulumbe ekisolo tukampeiningire sista waffe Tana tujjeyo obuwanguzi naye si buwanguzi bwokka, tumakinge sure message yaffe eya change eya freedom n'Abannayuganda okolera awamu ekuuka bulungi. Muzikirize malize nga njogera ku bintu bibiri ebirala. Eky'Abaganda baffe abali mukomera abaasibwa nga tebalina musango, obujulizi ne bubula, ne babula omusango gwe babasalira, naye ne basindika Balamu ne banna abalala ne babagamba omuba temukkiriza musango bagenda basiba wadde temugwina. Olw'okwagala okuva mukomera bakkiriza omusango, naye nga boogera naffe nga bakimanyi naffe tukimanyi tebalina musango. Nga bwe nabasaba tuyimirire nabo. Saawa zino toyinza banenya nnyo kubanga bali mikono gya mulabe waabwe. Naye ate mu kiseera kye kimutuusaamu nnyo ekitiibwa abakomredi abalemeddeko, bakomredi nga Machete, nga Kalanzi n'abalala, kubanga si kyabuzira okukkiriza omusango gw'otazizza. Nakyongerako muzikirize neera mu dakiika emu kyogereko nti kibi nnyo kye baakola abaana b'abandi okumufa osinga okukkiriza omusango gw'obutuju, omuteekeko maaka nti ono terrorist, naye omusango ogwo taguzzanga. Naye tumanyi nti nga tumaze okugoba Museveni tujja kuddayo mu kooti ebyo ebisango byonna tubisazeemu kubanga bya busiru. Ekyennaku nti gavumenti ya Museveni terina limit mu buswavu bweyinza kutuukako. Bagenze abo abantu oluvannyuma lw'okubakkiriza emisango gye bataakola ne babasalira n'obasalira, ate Balamu n'abagamba kati oluvaayo tubatuusiza Kyankwanzi, mugende babayigiriza okuwagira Museveni. Of course abasinga babiganye, nayogeddeko ne mwannyinaffe Olivia Lutaya n'antegeeza nti wadde bamukkiriza byatakkiriza, naye ate bamusalidde omusango. Bakusalira omusango gavumenti ba tekigwirinako obuvunaanyizibwa, kati asabinga kibonerezo kye era bw'avaayo ayagala kudda waka kusinkana famire ye. Naye ekyo kisobola okubeerawo only singa muvaayo nammwe ne muyimirira naye. Njagala okibasaba mwennayo ku social media abali mu Uganda n'abali eyo, mubayambeko bannaffe abasobola okutuukira ebitongole ebirwanyiizira eddembe byonna byonna. That is extra torture. Mu bigambo bye Olivia yangambye teyeetaaga rehaabu. Bwe bali rehaabu ekomera bamusibye ate nga talina musango gwe yakola, so bamuleke ekiseera kye kye bamusibe ekinaggwayo bamwesonyiye, baleme mulemerako ate mutwala mbyatakkiririzaamu. Nyongera n'obajjukiza Abaganda bange nti bannaffe abaawambibwa tebalabikanga. Olunaku lwajjo abalongo muganda waffe John Bosco Kibalama be yaleka nga ba myaka 2 n'ekitundu baweze emyaka 8, era mu ddiini yaffe y'Obukatuliki baadde bafuna konfirmasiyo n'abadde yeegayaza n'enyimirirawo nga kitaabwe tukyayongera okubanja abantu baffe. Si John Bosco Kibalama yekka, naye mulimu Damulira John, mulimu Wangolo Shafik, mulimu Lukwago Martin, mulimu Semuddu Michael, mulimu Musimbowa, mulimu Naluno Vincent, mulimu Zimula Dennis, mulimu Kanata Muhammad, Katumba George, Mbabazi Moses, Sempija Jude, Mugumya Arafat, Chicho Peter, Muemba Mustafa, Mubiru Hassan, Sesazi Isma, Nekisembo Godfrey. Abono bokka petulirako amannya naye bangi nnyo ababuzibwawo betwongera okunoonyerezaako, abamu famire zaabwe zitya okuvaayo kuba bazimanyi nti batiisibwatiisibwa bayinza n'okubatuusako obulabe, naye tetugenda kulekeraawo okubanja Baganda baffe abo paka nga tubafunye. Tusabe Katonda babeere nga bakyali balamu, naye ne bwe tebakyali balamu babatuwe tubaziike mu kitiibwa, tumanye nti twabumba abatemola. Naye njagala okujjukiza Museveni n'abo abasajja bakozesa Baddamulira n'abalala nti olunaku lumu mujja kusasulira ebikolobero by'omugoze ku Bannayuganda. Mwebale nnyo, mwebale.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put together a big applause for the President. President Sebo ensonga z'obadde yogerako mu financial year 2023-2024 bayisa obuwumbi 38 through science and technology ne babutwala erwa Shamaire tunga mu setting up park. Era gavumenti mu mwaka gwe gumu ne wa contract Vinci Uganda Vinci Coffee Company Limited nga yina obuvunaanyizibwa bw'okutunda kofi paka mu 2032. Era gavumenti kati yasayinize MOU ne Chinese Communications Construction Company okutunda Emwanyi. Kati lwaki gavumenti erwana okukola ebyo byonna kubanga yakola endagaano Emwanyi yagigabadda. Kati byonna bino it's just following backwards okutuukiriza kiri. Tweyanziza nnyo tweyanzirege olwa mwena ababadde wano era katufune oluyimba olutujja wano olwa anthem ya people power. Then the president will be
naye nga kyembaga Mulemeze oyo agenda when I read this like next week Tandika national ID tours. Omuntu wawuya national ID tours. Siba subira byamaanyi. Ndagala kunana nabaka. Era kuso ngaleki atera twagala kufuna ko abaka ku nsonga eno eyaki ensonga mukulembeze jako okwogerako ey'Emwanyi first of all yogera ku Mwanyi n'okuwamba abantu ensonga eyo
neyanza nnyo muganda wange erinnya nze Isaac Atomusange omusajja omusomesa era wa National Unity Platform okuva emugoye mu Kalangaalo Mikena District. Ku nsonga y'Emwanyi kitulumanye nga ffe bannasingo nga ffe abalimi n'okusinya ddala wange gyemba emugoye mu Kalangaalo okulaba gavumenti etukoze ekintu ekibi ennyo ekisigira ddala bubi okuddira Emwanyi yaffe ogirinyirira. Emwanyi enyaffe, Emwanyi y'ebuli kimu tukayita nakamwanyi naye kati we katuggyako naye kateeka mu nsawo naye katwalayo yennyini ekyekolereko ebe twetedde obwavu n'otulimirira neegala n'omulanga Kabaka gwatugamba Mwanyi terimba kitegeeza n'abawagidde Emwanyi ogijjawo bawakanyiza ebigambo bya Ssaabasajja Kabaka Emwanyi terimba. Naye mu byonna nze nkuga bannayuganda bannange n'okusingira ddala bannasingo Mikena North mwenna abali eb'ekikano nawalala tugende mu maaso n'okusimba Emwanyi nga tulina gavumenti yaffe yakyagulanyi emanyi omunaku emanyi omuntu wa bulijjo ebisengana nga tulina ennimiro zaffe tusobole okufuna kubeyetegerekeka
kale zikuzaako omukono so embeera bweti kyomera okola kusubscribe nga tutafune ku bantu wano eno mpola mpola nga batuwa endowooza ku babaka musiba ababaka abagala nakumukono okusimbawo kuba tumwetaaga. Nabasuubiza byonna ngenda kubikolamu abaana amaanya byonna nja kubikolamu abaana amanya kyenyiniva. Omukulu kiri kitya asooka oyogere ku nsonga y'emmwanyi eyo kankuamaze ensonga y'emmwanyi tuli live
basebe ne banyabo okukwatagana ku ggwanga byonna mubiwulidde. Omukulu ensonga zonna azirambise bulungi.
Ensonga y'emmwanyi
eyo tugenda kuuka ejjembe kutuuka kufiirawo okulabika nti tukusaawo ekirime ky'abajjajjaffe kye baalwanirira ate nekiyambye eggwanga lino emirembe gyonna. Kimanyi bulungi nti emmwanyi yaleetawo ne piki ze bayita emmwanyi z'abala abaana kwe basomedde ate tusobola kukikkiriza nti n'ekyetunzi kye twali tusigazza naddala nga ffe wano ab'omu Buganda nakyo kigenze. Bo balina ente zaabwe, ente zigula bukadde tezivaako musolo okuva ku nte, masa, maliba, bugato bwa nte byonna bitundibwa, ennyama, amata. Lwaki bwe kinaba kigaanye
sentamu hatugende taata
tugenda kufuba okulaba nti lwaki lwe binaba biganye naffe tunaazira amata, tujazira ennyama, buli kimu kyonna lwaki ebyabo okubalaga nti naffe tetuli bamativu, kulabika nga naffe tulwanira ekirime ky'abajjajjaffe, okulabika nti obukadde bw'abantu 12 ennyumba 12 ezibadde zifuna ku kirime ky'emmwanyi mu ggwanga lyetumanyi teririmu mirimo ate kati adde bakola mu UCD bo baddukirewa nga tukimanyi bulungi nti ensi talina mirimo. Abantu obukadde almost 20 tebasobola kulya kyamisana kyaggulo kuba tebayinza singi kasanvu. Kati tofudde ku bantu bano ekitongole kirwaniridde abantu bwekiti ng'ofudde ku kikyo wekka kubanga olina kyoyagala okuyisaawo. Ate twakibagambako abantu nti peneti tagenze ate nga peneti fena tumumanyi nti ye Museveni. N'olw'ensonga eyo tugenda kulwana buteddiza ng'abavubuka. Omulembe guno Ssaabasajja Kabaka gutukwasa nti tetulongoota ate nga tusimbye ne mu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu pulezidenti waffe muvubuka munaffe. Lazima tujja kufiirawo okulabika nti kwenunula kulwa Katonda n'ensi yange. Ssaabasajja Kabaka wangaale.
Tweyanze omusajja gwe oyeeyo omubiri, omusajja ono yatambula nafuta ejjinja yonna omusajja ono ayeewo omubiri kyakatubiddeyo kufeekingana mbeera bwetu bweri mugana wange sabisoobere nga tufuna ku babaka wano twagala tufuna endowooza zaabwe naye byonna nga sinaba kugenda mu maaso subscribing olikinga evidiyo eno ate era tukole tugenda mu national world tours next week. Just wekumira no ku social media yugi bulungi bijja bikajja beera bulungi bagala nnyo mweraba.